I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Welcome back, guys, to Quarter Mile Podcast, where you live your life a quarter mile at a time. I am one of your hosts, CJ Walton. I'm so happy to be back. I'm so excited.
Welcome back.
We're back.
Welcome back to your house. We did it. We're back again.
We're back with us
I'm
together.
your other host, Drew Davis.
He's here.
Right here in the same seat as I was a few weeks ago, but for you guys, it was just last week. We have an amazing other guest for you guys. I know you guys are like, who is the? That's why you watch this podcast to see which amazing people we bring, and we have another amazing person. So.
It's my little brother who's doing big things like all around the United States of America and then beyond. So let's do. Do we have like an applause?
I don't. Well, one, I don't think it oddly plays.
Oh, that's okay. I'll do it. Yay! Give it up for a comedian and like everything in the whole world, John Datoy. It's my little brother. I mean, I'm just saying, you know.
It's good to be here.
What's going on with you?
I mean, it's been good. I've been doing a lot. I'm a youth minister now.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't know that. I missed that. No, I did see you get ordained.
Yeah. I minister to teenagers out of McGavick High School. So
nice.
You okay? Are you okay?
No, they're good. They're awesome. They're good kids. They're actually funnier than most open mic comedians.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, I could never do that. Like when I used to be a youth pastor, and they'd be like, "Oh, you do comedy? I could never do that." And I'm like, I've met some people that do it, and you could do it.
Yeah.
Like,
and the thing is that so there's like this girl, I'm gonna call her Katie. Like she's been like deciding if she wants to break up with her boyfriend or not, and the whole group knows it. And then like she made fun of like one of the boys, and he's like, "Don't you have like a boyfriend? You should break up."
Oh,
I love it.
And like all the other youth ministers like horrified. I'm like, that's amazing.
So John, you're a youth pastor.
Yep.
You're a comedian. Have we talked about that yet? He's a comedian.
Yeah,
like an amazing.
I've been doing a little bit of that. I just got back from Minnesota, and that was pretty fun.
Yeah, did. You did the Loons on the Lake Comedy Festival.
How was it?
It was amazing. It changed my life, honestly.
Really?
So yeah, it did. So,
wow. Can you say more about that if you don't mind?
Yeah, I just meant.
By the way, we'll eventually get to talking about XXX. The Return.
I swear we will, but
that's not. We're in the John zone right now.
Yeah,
we'll get to the Xander zone
I'm
later.
excited about.
Well, like I've always like wanted to like explore different avenues that are not traditional to comedy clubs and venues. So like that's cruises, that's schools and churches, and they had agents there that I met with, and hopefully I'll be like signing with one pretty soon.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then I also met the lady from JFL Fresh Faces, she was there, and honestly, like it was really cool because like they have the competition, but then they have showcases.
Yeah,
and I actually think that like what they did, which they held like an industry panel, which is kind of like Comic-Con, but like they only invite you laugh.
It's true. I mean, you're right.
Like all these comedians, like they bring any questions and they can just ask as raw and brutal questions as possible. And one of the most raw questions that like I heard was from a comedian that's kind of like me. I do yo-yo. He's like, how do you not be pigeonholed as like only a one-nighter, like that you can work a weekend?
Yeah.
And like that's a great question.
And I've always wanted to ask that to industry without like sounding like I was bitter.
Right.
It was nice to hear that going towards industry that like more so isn't a comedy club owner, but like industry that will help you get into these.
What was their answer? What did they say?
Their answer was that like you just got to be so good that they can't deny you, and that's through social media, and that's through honestly just your act too. Like if your act is strong, it stands the test of time. So
but it's like there's so many factors as to whether it's a successful routine, but I feel like the one that is kind of as a crossboard is, do people laugh when you tell jokes?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so comedian, youth pastor. Also, do you want to talk briefly about being a yo-yo?
I am, yeah. I'm a world yo-yo champion. So
did you bring it?
Yeah, it's in my backpack over there. So I always have a case with me. I always people ask like when I bring a backpack, they're like, "Oh, are you ex-military?" Because it's a military.
Right, it is. It looks
I'm like, yeah, I carry a gun with me wherever I go. It's like, no, it's the only thing that properly fits my yo-yo case without clanking or
That's awesome. It looks like I wish they would have had in this movie in his crew of people with an amazing talent. They had a DJ, they had a sharpshooter. They needed a yo-yo person.
I mean, dude, that is a complete weapon,
right? Like I think it would be cool.
Yeah,
I think
it is
XXX extreme
like,
yo-yoer.
like that's no, that's hot. That is hot. Now I'm really proud of everything you've been doing out here. Like you've been
Thank you.
killing. Like you've been doing what? Nateland, Looney. You were on. You've been doing a lot.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like the last year's been kind of crazy. Because my wife had a really big year the previous year, and that kind of like kicked me into gear.
Did y'all just do Opry or something? Or
she did. She actually did the Ryman with Nate, so which was insane. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to let y'all know, I was a part of their engagement. Just letting y'all know, I was one of the people that was a part of their engagement.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we name dropping on the parts that we had to do with John and Paula's wedding?
I'm just saying
because I'm pretty sure I can be. Oh, you were around their engagement. I officiated their wedding.
Guess what? I was the one who was doing this with the camera when he said, "Will you?" So now
I signed their marriage certificate.
What did you say, Drew? Shut up. I signed their marriage. Look, so
this is dumber than our regular weekly competition
we're gonna figure out who loves John more.
Yeah.
Like, we're fighting over John.
I met his mother.
Okay, you win. I'm sorry, Drew.
Also, one of the questions we always like to ask our new guests is, and you can answer either or. We always, it's a Fast and Furious themed podcast, so the original question used to be like, "What's your relationship with Fast and Furious?" But we've branched out, so if you'd prefer, you can also answer, "What's your question to like XXX?"
I can do both.
I would like to hear both.
Yeah,
Fast and Furious. I was probably about 10 when it started. When the franchise started, I watched mainly the ones with Paul Walker, and then I think it was Fast 7 or Fast 6 that was the last one with the flashback with the Wiz Khalifa song that like was everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And after that, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of fell off just because like I kind of had a hard time following the spin-offs like
absolutely,
Hobbs, Shaw. But I also like the weird thing they did in Tokyo because in yo-yoing that was one of the most popular songs for like 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, because so many Japanese people play with yo-yos. So
that is a cool song. Like it's a good intro song. It's a good like
throughout this whole thing, that whole franchise, the music has honestly been on point.
Every soundtrack.
I watched the first movie. I had a huge crush on Asia Argento, which was his opposite character when I was like,
was that his lady in the first one?
Yeah, the other undercover person.
Yeah, she was cute. She was
pretty. Turns out she was also a pretty awful person.
Oh, is she?
You should read about that online.
She was horrible.
That's fun. I didn't know that. Now I'm going to.
Yeah, but like I just had like the hugest crush because there was a girl at my school who looked like her, like a younger version of her. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna marry this girl. And then like that's why I first liked that movie. But then like I watched it more. I'm like, this is actually a pretty dope movie. Yeah. And I watched State of the Union, which was like I thought it was okay. There's some fun stuff from like the heat signal scene when they're like, oh, he's not in here, just a bunch of frozen peas in this bathtub or whatever.
Yeah.
And I thought that was crazy, but the third one was good.
It was good.
It was a good way to round it out. Yeah.
Okay. Before we get into talking about the third installment of XXX, a friend of the podcast, Ken, who's been with us in season 1, he actually he was the one who gave me the idea to cover Torque back in season 2. Which is a fun and dumb movie. I did not realize what a big XXX fan Ken was. So of course we record episodes every other week, so we record 2 episodes. So when we dropped the first XXX, when he saw it, he gave me real-time reactions to it. These are some real-time reaction comments from Ken about XXX. That's a weird thing to say out loud.
No, because that goes into what I'm going into next. So yeah,
like being at work, being like, because I rented the movie to rewatch it. And I'm like, XXX Vin Diesel movie, like,
or like when I emailed you, here's the link to XXX.
Yeah.
My work is like, are you watching adult movies?
So here's some thoughts from Ken. I thought they were very fun, so I thought I'd share them with y'all. I remembered I watched F7 and XXX on the same day, and I said I was getting my double dose of VD.
Hello? What? You know what, Ken? I love you.
I love that.
That's very funny.
Then here's something I didn't know at the time, but we talked about it later. But he's like, in regard to XXX, he said, I can't believe neither of you mentioned that a stuntman died in the zipline scene under the bridge scene. Did you guys know that about the first XXX? There was a guy that literally died doing a stunt. But in this movie, so Xander Cage has more tattoos because he's older and tougher.
Right, yeah, because he's tougher.
On his leg.
Guns.
On his leg, he's got a tattoo of a guy's name and the date. That was the dude that passed away from the stunt.
Oh, that's cool trivia.
So that's kind of cool.
Is that the thing that's on the back of his leg?
Yeah.
I saw that. Okay, I was wondering what that was. Okay.
So then also when we reviewed XXX, we were making fun of like how like, oh man, so we liked all the extreme sports and how that played into the action sequences. Then what we made fun of was, and apparently that made him a good marksman as well. Like we didn't understand how the dude knew how to do it. But we missed a part of the movie where they did explain why he was such a good marksman. And they explained how he was such a good marksman by saying that he broke his leg and spent some time in bed playing first-man shooters, which doesn't make any sense, but that was the explanation.
Yeah, this whole thing is like, Gig wants to cancel PlayStation and video games. And I'm like, all right.
And then one of the things we talked about, probably again in the first XXX, was how this seemed to be like the tryout for Samuel L. Jackson to be Nick Fury, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But here's an interesting fact. And I do think this probably still movie-wise was what helped them keep their eye, like, oh man, he really could do this. But Samuel L. Jackson was used as the model for Nick Fury in the Ultimate Marvel comic books since 2001, before XXX came out. He wasn't asked permission before they started drawing him like that, but it's been widely acknowledged, and so he was the obvious choice when they wanted to make the Avengers.
Wow. About that, because if you go back and look at the comics and look at that, it's Sam.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And then like it's all the facial stuff too that they were like doing. That was clearly like the veins.
Stuff, the possible.
But it was interesting. Did you guys catch in the end of this movie? When he came back, he had like the eye
patch. Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah. If I were to only give one edit to the movie, it'd be the ending.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I do have a comment about the ending of the movie.
I do too.
Full disclosure, I thought this one blew the other two out of the water.
Really?
I almost want to take back all the Too Fast rankings I've given since the beginning of the season, because what happened because this movie and then the one we're covering next week, I absolutely after I watched them, I'm like, oh, this is what a Too Fast rating feels like. But see, John, the thing is so our first season we covered Fast and Furious movies, completely. And then our second season we covered what we called Fast and Furious adjacent movies,
right?
And we watched some terrible. We got through a Sahara of terrible movies that we watched towards the end of season 2. And I think it just like lowered my standards for movies I find enjoyable.
Well, so, you're going to be really mad at me because I do want to propose something for the next season. Bad action movies.
They can still be fun. We can still watch them.
Yeah, I mean, you could find lists.
There are lists of bad action.
They're fun to watch. But anyway, where was I going with that? Other than I just really enjoyed this movie. And so,
yeah, I really like this one. The only like thing is just like, but I realized what they were doing like probably about 10 minutes in is they were just packing in classic themes that resonate.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I was kind of like, that seemed forced, but like it had to be to establish that like this is coming,
It was weird. It was weird when you first started this movie when you first see Vin Diesel and you realize, oh, this was 15 years after the first XXX, and he's like an old man on that motorcycle.
He had to be at least 50.
And so like as he's like having the slight romance with that woman, you're just like, you were old enough to be her grandpa.
You know what? I swear to God, I think that was the one thing in the movie, and it's consistent with him. And I don't know if that's in his contract that if I cannot kiss her, then I'm not doing the movie.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because isn't he like married?
He's married, yeah. Married, kids, everything. And I've said this probably almost every other episode. It probably feels like people are probably tired of me hearing it, but he only has chemistry with one woman, and it's not Letty from Fast and Furious. It is Helen Mirren. When you watch those scenes of him with Helen Mirren in Fast and Furious, it is creepily the chemistry they have.
Hey, low-key, she got a nice body, though. Low-key, Helen Mirren is banging.
I think every time he's ever in a love
look it up. I'm telling y'all, look it up. Low-key.
Okay.
Helen Mirren is bang.
Are you looking her up right now?
I'm just seeing who she married, and because that's like, she's 80 years
old. Yeah. Listen,
but she got but look at her. She not what?
No, she looks like she's maybe 69.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah.
This one,
I don't know about.
This one, I feel like, especially the scene with the 7 women in him.
Yeah.
The things I do for my country.
Things I do for my country. Like,
There's just like, I just love how like it's unclear. It's clear what his friend does and
Yeah.
what she's in trouble for, but she's also like a brothel. Apparently.
I mean, I just don't understand why they were all asleep like that.
Yeah.
Like, that was the most unnaturalistic.
Yeah, it was a weird start to a movie to be like, he just had an 8-person orgy.
Yeah, and like,
back to the plot.
And do you really think? I'm sorry. There is no way you could do that by yourself, sir.
Yeah.
Okay?
The things he does for his
The
country.
things I do for my country.
The thing that I thought was very funny too is like when he's on that radio tower in the beginning of the movie, he drops like 80 feet. That's a very far distance to just land.
Yeah,
feet.
yeah, and he didn't break his knees,
rocks, you know,
and not a knee broke.
It
and
took a little bit to get back.
That's part of what I liked about this movie because it reminded me of Fast 6 through 9. I'm not going to count 10 because I didn't much care for that movie, but Fast 6 through 9, where it's just like the most unrealistic, over the top action. Like Vin Diesel can take a bullet and be like, yeah, whatever, you know. Like we were getting that kind of action, like the fight scenes.
Oh yeah,
I was like, this is the kind of nonsense I want to watch.
Using a soda can is a boost to your car.
I just want him to, next time he's in any type of Spanish speaking country, to physically speak Spanish, because he can't.
Well, Los Bandoleros.
Well, he did pretty decent in Los Bandoleros. See,
yeah,
I think that it would almost sound more natural if he did Spanish speaking movies sometimes.
Because his voice,
it's so deep and like, it is suave. Is he Italian?
He's everything apparently.
Like for the longest, I thought the man was black.
He's got some black in him
too. Actually, when I saw Saving Private
he's interracial. He's interracial, so he's
a Bruno. He's not Bruno Mars.
Yeah, he's got some black. He's got some either. I don't think it's Italian. I think it's Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also got some white. Like his real name's Mark Sinclair. One of his first documentaries he directed and did was about the challenges of being like a biracial actor and how he fits everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Yeah, it's like anytime he grows his hair, that hair ain't gonna lie. Yeah. So anytime he grows his hair, that automatically lets you know he got some black in him.
Yeah, a man apart, you're like, okay.
Anytime
is he not naturally bald then?
No, he should.
That's a signature that he's doing as part of his acting career.
I think just because his hairline maybe goes all the way.
Probably, that makes sense. Yeah,
but that's just like what's his name? That's racially ambiguous.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yes, but we know he's black
and Samoan.
Samoan. He's black.
They're two sides of a different coin. They cannot stand each other.
They can't.
And that's my favorite. My favorite celebrity feud.
They can't. Yeah. I do enjoy it. Let's get into some facts about the Xander Cage. So let's talk about the cast who was in it. Like this came out in 2017.
Yep.
So what was that? How many years ago was that? Someone do the math.
8 years ago.
8 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's not bad.
The movies were still popping then. Like
absolutely,
they weren't 2001, 2002 quality, but they were still.
I honestly did enjoy the little bit of CGI that was in the movie. So I'll do that. It was rated PG-13, of course, for sexual content and nudity.
If you're going to have an 8-person sex scene, you might as well give it a 13.
That's a lot of swearing in that movie.
So that's what confused me about the PG-13. I'm like, why would this not be rated R?
So is the way it works with that, is it like...
It's the F word, isn't it?
Yeah, you can only not say the F word in a PG-13 movie.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm asking. That's a weird thing to be like,
I need y'all to drop that in the comments.
13-year-olds are ready for most profanity.
And that's true because I did that at 4 years old. Let's keep going. So we got Vin Diesel, of course, is Mr. Xander Cage, the infamous Donnie Yen. We got Deepika Padukone, Chris Wu, and because it's Pride and because it's June and because I love her and it could be January through December and I'm rubbing my knee right now. It is something about Ruby Rose. I am so sorry, you men, now.
She is delightful. She had me at Batwoman when she was in Batwoman season 1.
She had me at everything that as soon as that woman came on the screen, I was like, am I? What?
So it's the eyes. It's the way she looks at everything. I swear.
She is ridiculous. I'm definitely fangirling over her in this movie. Tony Jaa, you ain't beating Tony. You're not being Tony Jaa is everything to me. I love him. He's ridiculous. You got my girl Becky. I would love to meet Nina. Nina Dobrev.
Oh yeah. I would love to meet her too.
Adorable.
She did like everything.
She did.
Yeah.
Before, and then it was random almost for her to do this movie.
Yeah, it felt a little different.
I really wanted us to get into her because she's such a well-rounded actress.
Yeah.
She's such a well-rounded actor.
She was on Degrassi.
Degrassi. Don't you talk about Bible? You got.
She was 4 different characters on Vampire Diaries.
She was. She really was.
Something interesting about her in this movie. I don't know if you'll get to this or if this is just. But I thought it was a fun fact. She really wanted a scene with like an action scene with a gunfight, and they didn't originally have her written to where she'd be shooting anyone. But like every day on filming, she was like, "Oh, please give me," and they finally caved in, but all the other characters had training in like how to hold guns and how to make it, and she didn't, and so
they thought it'd be funny to make this.
So
the scene that she falls in.
Yeah, so that's like. It's hard to tell because she is a good actress. She probably was acting, but like if it looked like she didn't know how to hold a gun as well as all the other people, it's because she was the only one in the cast that didn't take like the
I love
classes
that.
on how to. So.
That is somebody who I honestly would love to do some scenes with. I would love to be in a scene with her.
I think she's absolutely gorgeous.
She's drop dead gorgeous.
It is hard.
Is Dobrev Russian?
I want to say it is.
Okay.
I mean,
Nina it sounds like it.
Yeah. My boy, Rory McCann. We know who he is. You know who he is, right?
Wait, well, which I'm terrible with names. Which character?
Tennyson. He was Tennyson.
Tennyson.
You know what else he plays in?
What else he's playing?
Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, I still haven't watched Game of Thrones.
He's the Hound, baby. Like, you're not gonna tell me this man cannot sing in real life.
I won't tell you that.
I believe in real life that man can really blow.
Maybe that's his next endeavor.
I don't know. So. He's Scottish.
Him and Hugh Jackman, put them in a movie together.
Yep. I thought he might be like that.
But it'll win an Academy Award because it'll be like sad, but like a little bit of humor to it.
Right.
8mm.
Yep.
They'll be like The Lighthouse. No one gets it, but they're like, it was good.
Right.
We had Toni Collette as Jane Markey, the main lady behind all of it, and of course the great Sam L. Mother Jackson, and we had Neymar in this. I don't know if you guys realized that was Neymar in it. He was the soccer.
I was kind of wondering because like he looks different, obviously now.
Yeah,
he's Neymar when he was a cute little baby. Hey,
weird cameo to have.
Right? Absolutely.
Kick this napkin holder and stop the Chinese worker.
He's like, perfect. I've been wanting this role so much.
Yeah. How did I forget Ice Cube? How did I forget Darius Styles?
Yeah. Can I just say, because you've been with me so I hadn't seen this. This was the only XXX I hadn't seen, and so I had been wanting a Vin Diesel and Ice Cube team up. From the minute
if they didn't do anything like that.
Yeah.
Oh, and I was I knew it when the rocket launcher killed the people. I knew it was Ice Cube, and I audibly said to nobody,
scissors, grenade.
Yes.
Yeah, and you could tell that like if he had any more dialogue than he did, it would have ruined everything.
Right.
But it was so signature of stuff.
No, what's signature is the fact that man came in on his own theme music.
Yeah, that is true.
That is signature.
I loved it. And then like them talking to each other at the end.
Can I ask both of y'all a question? So is that how men talk? Like you stand apart?
I mean, every time I see Drew at the Dive Motel, I'm like, what's it gonna take to join the clean comedy?
Get out.
And then I'm like, you know what they say.
Then he takes his iPhone and stops. Like, well, I didn't want that.
I'm like, is every interaction that he has with a man talking, they are 6 to 10 feet apart.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like.
Have y'all not noticed that? Am I the only one?
I think
tricked.
He's like, I can only.
He used to get close to anyone who shares this franchise.
First off, why are you talking like that?
I feel like that it's their attempt to be like, we're gonna look tough, and you know what's tougher than standing awkwardly apart from another man?
Oh God, I felt like they were gonna be like in the Wild Wild West with guns and blazing or something.
Like Jersey versus Compton.
Yes, oh my God. Oh God. All right, so let's keep going. So this movie, like I said, we came out in 2017. It made God, let me see. It was they did it in China, Canada, and in the United States. So
many.
So but they filmed in the Philippines.
Yeah.
The budget was 85. It was estimated at 85 million.
I actually thought it was gonna be higher when I read this.
That's what I thought too. Opening weekend. What do you think it grossed opening weekend?
So the budget was 85 million.
Yeah. What do you think it
I'm
grossed
thinking
opening weekend?
I'm thinking open.
Just opening weekend.
100.
No, 20 million.
Oh, so it flopped me initially.
If it flopped initially, and then it grossed actually
I want to say 200 mil. Am I close?
20 million, $130,142, and the gross worldwide was 346,118.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which
But-
just goes to show you that, like, just because it's kind of like Tintin did really well overseas,
Yeah.
it just crapped the bed here in America.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like I wonder how much of the people that went to go see it was like the nostalgia of like because that 15 years had passed or less than that.
Or older, at least, yeah.
I did too. I just wanted to get into some of these reviews. It was by the way, DJ Caruso, he was a director, and Rich Welks and F. Scott Frazier, they were the writers on it. It's got a lot of mixed reviews.
Yeah, it was like 46 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, 46 on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's still better than State of the Union, which I think was like 17.
Yeah, I think it's actually in a lot of lists of like worst movie of the year. So.
Yeah, on IMDb they give it a 5.2 out of 10.
I get more off of that. I don't know what you guys do. IMDb is more fair.
I like IMDb.
Yeah, and that's what I usually try to go on. So let's look at some of the reviews. The Seattle Times said, "The Return of Xander Cage is the movie equivalent of cotton candy, all empty calories. Excessive consumption of all of this product is likely to give the body the queasies." The New York Times said,
"It's delicious."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Characters are simply triggers for the overwrought action sequences thrown between the Edward Scissorhands editing and the occasional wobbling background, even though those are less than distinct. Arizona Republic said this film is packed with moments of rank idiocy.
Hell yeah, it is.
Now, the Slant said quibbles dissipate in the face of giddiness of action, which builds to such a relentless head that even the serious stakes of the film's motivation give way to a largely pleasant vibe. And the Chicago Tribune said, pure spectacle has been since submerged into narrative filmmaking, but the cinema of attractions is always present, especially in modern action movies, and there are so many more greater examples of this than the XXS, The Return of Xander Cage. But that is the other people that love this movie.
I'm sorry, did they not know they were watching XXX, The Return of Xander Cage?
One of the comments that said, like, why are you all looking for a completely drama movie when this is all it's supposed to be? This is what it's supposed to be.
It 100% delivered on everything that I wanted when I watched.
I call it the Hunger Games effect because like they had like action and drama, and they're like that is what every action movie. So then that's like what they take in every movie. Like,
but did the Hunger Games come out right? Yeah, they did.
Yeah, one of the last ones. The last ones were starting to come out around then. So I don't know. It's just like
they want it all. They want it all.
Yeah, well, they probably wanted anything but Vin Diesel.
John, get out. He said they wanted everything but Vin Diesel.
Yeah. I love that one of those reviews called it cotton candy. Who doesn't love cotton candy? Like, I mean,
if I don't get cotton candy, I sometimes get upset.
Maybe they're vegan.
And please don't ever drop in the comments that there is a such thing as vegan cotton candy.
That's disgusting.
That is disgusting.
Donuts out there.
Yeah, well, there's also like sin exists. Like, come on, youth pastor, you know hell's a real place, and that's probably where vegan donuts are at. I'm just kidding. No, so mean. If you listen to this and you're a vegan,
why do you eat the animals? Why are you eating the animals' food? If you're a vegan, why are you eating all the animals' food, huh? If you really love the animals, stop eating all the lettuce and the grapes and stuff. If you love them, let the animals eat.
Yeah, I don't know. I got a vegetarian sister-in-law, and she's great, but like I've met vegans, and like there's two types of vegans. There's the one who are like, I am actually vegan. Like they're silent about it. And then there's ones be like, I could never.
Right. Those are the ones that need to have a seat.
Yeah, they live in Seattle, hence one of our bad reviews.
But this is not a bad review. She said the score on IMDb is ridiculously inaccurate. This is not a metaphysical interpretation of life and drama, like you said.
Yeah.
This is XXS. This is Xander Cage at his best, like you said.
Mhm.
See, it says the action is well shot and all over the top as expected. The jokes are cheesy and perfectly timed. Minor spoilers. There are some cameos and they nailed them. The support cast in the movie sometimes end up being annoying or getting in the way. Not so in this one. Every character is unique, fun, and I have to agree with that, and has the right amount of screen time and does not annoy. There is no drama or tension, nor does there need to be. This is not meant to be The Departed. This is a super fun action flick where we can just smile and watch Vin Diesel nail another awesome flick out of the park. Some people complained about this new cast feeling out of place. Not so. They did an amazing job. I feel this movie review the XXX franchise, and I'm already hungry for another one. Again.
Do you think they'll do another one?
I don't think they'll do another one.
It.
I don't think so. I think
because he's almost 55.
Yeah,
now?
I think it was as much as he's been dragging his feet with the next Fast and Furious and the next Riddick movie. I don't think anyone's even been like, and what about the next XXX movie?
Yeah, I know.
Well, then it's the rule of threes.
That's right. But you know what? I would 100% go watch another.
Oh, absolutely. I literally was in the bathtub with popcorn watching this movie.
Was the computer or TV like a safe place?
Yeah, it's on my tray.
She's like, I was contemplating my life, and I was like, I mean, this movie's gonna. Anyway.
I'm gonna die watching this.
Listen, this is what I liked about this movie. It felt so timely in that like just with everything that's going on in our country right now. At the end of the movie, I was like, we need a XXX. Where's
you don't have to think.
Where's Vin Diesel?
When you need him.
Like he needs to come solve this State of the Union.
And speaking of Vin Diesel, I want you right now to give us your review in the essence of Xander Cage. I don't know if he can do it. Can he? I don't know.
I don't know. But I heard earlier in practicing, I'm cautiously optimistic. So it's the AI plot summary from the voice of Xander.
I need to get this plot summary because y'all still don't know what this.
Some of you guys we've never seen this movie, but we decided to listen to an hour podcast episode about it. Well, now you're about to hear what the movie's about.
The name's Cage, Xander Cage, and yeah, I'm back. He thought I was dead? Nah, I was just chilling, doing death-defying stunts in the jungle. Dodging snakes, government calls, and anything that required pants. But then the world decided to suck again. So what happens? Samuel L. Jackson's character, who looks like he could talk a shark out of biting him,
thank you,
calls me in because some evil tech bros are dropping satellites like they're mixtapes. Real original. Now I gotta save the planet. Again. But I don't do it with a military squad or some buttoned-up suit-wearing clowns. Nah, I roll with my people, my weirdos. A sniper who hates rules. A DJ with zero fear. Getaway driver who thinks brakes are optional. And a girl who could hack you into your Wi-Fi before you finish saying password.
That's right.
We're not spies. We're XXX. We don't ask permission. We jump out of planes, ride motorcycles on water, punch dudes through windows, and somehow always land with a wink and no scratches. It's not about saving the world. It's about doing it with style. Sunglasses on, muscles flexed, and zero F-words given. So yeah, I'm Xander Cage, and this ain't espionage. This is extreme.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. Perfect. I did love that scene when the motorcycle that turns into a water ski, because that's
on drugs. I was like, how did that happen?
Okay, thank you. Because I was like, wait a minute. And did he go underwater and keep going?
Of course he did.
Go up?
Because he's Vin freaking Diesel.
Yeah, that's true.
Vin freaking Diesel.
I did like how, as ridiculous as it was, each of the XXX's had a unique personality.
Yes.
Like,
oh, I love that.
right? Like each of them had their thing that, and it could have been as dumb as I'm a DJ, but I'm really good at being like using that to fight crime. But they make it work. They all had a time where like what they did as the guy who just crashes into things with a Scottish accent.
Tennyson.
He he did a thing that helped further the plot.
They might have a straight drinking problem, but we don't address that.
That's okay.
We all got our crosses to bear.
Exactly.
The one thing, like you said, I love the fact that they introduced all of their characters with little quips about them, but there were inaccuracies about the quips. Like with Tennyson, his mouthpiece.
Yeah,
we say that he's a rugby player. They don't use that in rugby.
Do they not? Oh yeah, because rugby, they just like the only mouthpiece you need is the blood from your mouth.
Yeah, they don't. So that was a
It's rugby's intense, man. It is.
Yeah, I know. I watched the Olympics and I was like, this is pretty hardcore.
And then the only other thing in the movie that I did not like, the one thing that I did not like was the fact that he had to have a fur coat. And then my thing was, how did he get that second fur coat after the first one?
Yeah. It's also been 20 years, and the fact that he went in London has just been like, take this. And
Also,
remember me by it.
It's weird. It's weird that that's what Vin Diesel or the writers thought. Like, well, if we're bringing Xander back, everyone's gonna know about his fur coat.
Yeah.
Let's bring that back.
And we're gonna address it for 35 seconds. Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, it's right there. And then when you see him again saying, that's the crew I need, it's a no fur coat.
Yeah, no, he went through a lot of effort to get the.
I'm like, where did this fur coat come from?
Oh no, it's only Vin Diesel.
Yeah,
Only Vin Diesel.
Now,
so many inaccuracies in the movie that made it fun for me.
Aside from Vin Diesel, who is your favorite like XXX? Like, who do you think? Like, to me, like the one I thought that was like the Asian guy who did all the. I was like, he
absolutely.
The plot couldn't have happened without him. Like,
absolutely, but for me, it was Angela.
Of course.
I'm sorry, but the women kicked ass in this movie.
They did.
They kicked butt in this movie.
They didn't back down in the face of fear.
They did not. I'm this one, and again, I'm fangirling in this because I was just like, I did not realize she was going to be in it. I was like, wait, is she?
Yeah, she is.
I knew that the woman who hired him, the one who said Gibbons was dead, I knew she would turn.
Yeah.
It was something about her.
It's just the aura they presented it with.
Yeah. Ali Oxenfree.
Yeah, I can't tell if I just didn't like her as an actress or just really didn't like her character.
I didn't like her character.
Is it like does she actually like die? Because she's hooked to a parachute.
Yeah, I don't know if she dies.
Yeah, but I assume
feel like it looked like she died, but who knows in XXX4?
Because you can't be floating by your ankle for that long.
I don't think you can. Yeah, no, because
that's so much blood rushing.
Yeah, so that's something that the movie didn't answer. This is something else that I didn't like.
She didn't die on screen, so who knows?
This is something else I didn't like about the one thing when we first meet, what's her name in the movie?
Nina Dobrev?
Yeah, no, not Nina.
Blonde evil blonde woman?
No, the Indian, the pretty Indian girl.
One of the XXXs, yeah.
One of the XXXs. How did she have on heels at the club, and then when she get to the beach, she had on flat boots?
That's part of the technology.
Yeah, it's part of her. In the same ways that the wheels turn to water skis.
Can we please talk about the wheels? Okay, no, we can't talk about that.
Also, I'll tell you the one thing that I would change in this movie. First of all, I also need to take another moment to appreciate Ice Cube saving the day.
Always.
That was just that made. I was already loving this movie.
He's like, sorry,
and that
your car.
So yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I took it on a couple of dates. And right back to his theme.
His mannerisms are so funny to me. Like I think in the same way that Vin Diesel's like, this is cool. Let me go grab a fur coat. I think Ice Cube's like, I'm gonna say this line, and everyone's gonna be like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I would have taken away, I do not think they needed to bring Samuel L. Jackson's character back to life.
I didn't think so.
I think
either.
as much as I love Gibbons and Samuel L. Jackson, but like his dying. First of all, I've talked about this before in this podcast.
Movie,
I've talked about this in the podcast about how like we need to make death more permanent in these kind of movies. Like everyone in Fast and Furious comes back all the time. Nobody's actually
Yeah,
dead.
They
Han
do.
didn't actually die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They brought him back literally 3 times in
Yeah.
an 11 movie series. But the whole plot progressed because they banded together over his death, and it was such a beautiful moment at the end with the funeral where they were all together honoring
Yeah.
him. And I just feel like when they brought him back, it kind of negated all of that.
Yeah.
Really?
That's just how I felt. Like it would have been, especially since like this movie didn't seem like they were setting up for another XXX. You know, like this seemed if this was
Okay, I
a
see where you're
trilogy,
going
that
with
would have been
that.
a good way to end it. Because
Yeah.
now,
It's true, book closed almost.
yeah, because
Yeah,
now like
okay, I
Xander's in charge of the
okay, I agree
XXX
with that.
program. You know,
I agree with that. I see what you're saying by that.
I
Yeah.
also have a problem with like movies that end with like the main character like not part of the funeral, but at the funeral.
yeah. Why was he just sitting up there?
And also, like, I don't know if this was like just the way the lighting was, but like it looked like Xander was in a gymnasium. He's like how he was sitting, and everyone else is like just at a funeral. And it's just I don't know. That bothered me for some reason.
I wonder too. I mean, we learned this when we kind of did the deep dive of the Fast and Furious movies. Like Vin Diesel has such a weird like I'm gonna go ahead and knock out all these scenes, and I'm gonna go. So like they probably, especially since he was like one of the producers or directors or whatever, probably he had probably some kind of hand
Well,
because it was
top producer.
He
Wasn't
was top producer.
yeah, because I mean it was a one race production, which is either a play off his race or Fast and Furious. Right? Like who knows? But but I wonder if he had like I'm gonna go film these scenes and then I don't have to be at these other scenes or whatever.
Possibly. You might be doing some people do that with projects. Like I know like Nate Bargatze's doing. He's filming a movie and then like flying back to Nashville to do
Right.
stuff, then flying back to Atlanta, and then driving to Chattanooga because they're filming there too. I guess. So,
Yeah.
So I could see actually a new new XXX like movie where they like one of his he recruits someone like he's now Gibbons kind of.
Yeah,
I could see them running with that.
that'd be
I
cool.
don't know how success who would play that part though.
Who would play the new recruit?
Yeah,
That's a good question.
I could.
Hmm.
It wouldn't
new
be.
recruit?
It wouldn't because it couldn't be anyone like Timothy Chalamet or Tom Holland or like people who've done typically those types
Yeah.
of roles.
It had to be somebody new. What if it was Michael B. Jordan?
That'd be cool.
Honestly, I could see that happening.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah.
that'd be
I could
good.
see Michael B. Jordan doing that. And I know you're gonna be like, "Shut up, CJ." But what about Ryan Gosling? Or no, not Ryan Gosling.
You mean Reynolds?
Reynolds, yeah.
Reynolds would work. Although here's why that movie would never work. Vin Diesel has to be the star and the action,
Ryan's
the
not
macho.
going.
Like he has to. Oh, in any movie he ever does, it always goes back to he's the action hero.
That's why I think actually Michael B. Jordan would be perfect because like he's a newer star. He's reached pretty high levels, but I don't
Right.
think he's got the same legacy that Vin Diesel has.
Yeah.
Because like Michael B. Jordan started in independent films like Fruitvale Station, and then
Yeah, but this centers in, and then he was also in he was in
yeah,
Black
exactly.
Panther.
Black Panther.
Black Panther, yeah. Which is-
Debatably one of the best Marvel villains that they've made so far.
Yeah,
But best
so-
written.
yeah, that's
I think Michael B. Jordan would be really good.
Yeah.
If you're listening and you need some writers,
We're here.
Or if you just need me to talk to Michael B. Jordan, you can send him the number. Just drop it down in the chat, and I'll hit him up. That's my,
And if you also have Nina DeBray's number, go ahead and drop that one in
Yeah.
here. We'll see if she's interested in the fourth
Yeah.
movie too.
I would love to do that. I would love to talk to her.
Mhm.
Maybe get her here, do a podcast.
I don't think I could like get off talking to her. Like, I would try.
No,
Or, like, Yuri Human
I would
Goodness.
totally invite. I would invite Nina to 5 Points Pizza. Like I feel like she would be the perfect person to go eat pizza with.
I wonder where she lives. Let's look that up.
Right? Why you out there? Let's look up
So many
Ruby.
actors like live here in Nashville.
Yeah.
you
It's
know?
true.
Uh,
Nina, if you live here, if you want to go to Slim and Huskies, boo, what's up? Let's go.
Good.
Let's go. So, is it time for our game?
Let's do it.
Because
Wait, let's do Too Fast, Too Furious ratings first.
well, you are. He doesn't know how this goes.
Do you want to explain it or should I? Okay.
You explain it.
So we always rate each movie, and all three of us to rate it. Your options are it's called the Too Fast, Too Furious rating system. So Too Fast is like best ever. My life is better because of it. Fast is like I liked it.
Yeah.
Furious, and this is kind of our neutral ground. Furious is either you didn't like it or like you didn't really care.
It is credit, but not like
Yeah.
it's not
Right.
And then Too Furious is like I really didn't like it, and my life is less than because of it.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, we all get to share. So and I already played my cards early on. I'm gonna give this one a 2 fear. Excuse me. Well, for a twist,
The flip sides.
I'm gonna. That was like the exact opposite. I've never been more wrong in my life.
He's like, I'm about to rock John's world.
Right. It's like that is my acting. I acted like I love this movie, and now he's no. I'm gonna give it a 2 fast. And this is, and again, we base this solely on how you enjoyed the movie. I've given plenty of 2 fast review ratings on bad movies. Like it's just I had so much fun watching this. I left in a good mood. And also part of it was timely. Like part of me is like, man, things are rough in the US right now, and it was fun to watch a movie where things were rough and the extreme sports guy won. You know, yeah. So I liked it too fast all the way.
All right. I'm gonna do Too Fast too. It was just I think about it like I could watch this on a plane and I'd be like, that's pretty cool. I could watch this at home on my TV. It's cool. But like I didn't see this in the theater. I wish I would have, but I actually bought the DVD.
I love you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I bought that, and then it was just I would have loved to see what it would like being in the theater because it's just like that perfect thing where you could just eat and like have a good time.
Oh, I'm definitely Too Fast. I love this movie. I'm probably gonna watch it again tonight.
All right, there you go. I almost rewatched it again this week too, just for fun. So that's to me why I got it Too Fast.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna watch it tonight because it's funny. Well, now it is time for our game, and I am very excited about that because I'm switching it up a little bit.
Okay, time out. Do you know about our best bits game?
I just need to review.
Sorry.
Yeah, so we get to we pick our best bits from the movie, and you have to guess which one I like the best.
So
yeah,
and also if you guess correctly, then I get a point, and we're keeping track this whole season. If you guess incorrectly, CJ gets a point. Same for me. We're both trying to guess her best scene, and she's going to give her qualification here in the scenes here a second. For everyone watching and listening in this current moment in time. I am losing, like, I have 4 points and she has 7 points. So I'm going to need us to, start being correct.
Well, this time he might win because I made it easier and I changed it up a little bit. I'm only I'm only doing scenes that involve Ruby.
Okay. I love it.
I had to.
All right,
she's so gorgeous to me. Okay. All right. So so of course we all know her name was Adele Wolf. First off, hello. So let's do that. She's kind of like that big don't mess with me type of energy. So this was my 3 favorite moments. What do you think they were? The first scene, the jungle sniper scene when
that was a cool moment.
That was a good one because she was to me she was like befriending the lion.
Yeah.
At that point in her life, when the gunfight in the club when she
in the Philippines,
that
was cool too.
And they were because did she do her own stunt?
She might have.
I did not see where she did not do her.
So I think she did because I know later in her career she injures her back doing Batwoman, and it was a big deal because she does her own stunts and now she can.
Okay, I was looking everywhere to see who was her stunt woman, and I could not find it. And when she goes completely going off on that dude, when she roast dude, she said, "I'll shoot you," and then roll my eyes about it. Do y'all remember that scene when she was when the dude came up to her?
Yeah. Oh yeah, because he was hitting on her.
Yeah, she's like, "My boy, this is not what you want. This is she roast dudes she just mid fire boy, I'll shoot you twice without blinking."
Yeah,
I got my guess.
So which one do you think was my favorite? Adele.
Which one do you think it was?
I think Adele too, because honestly, just that talent of
right,
and the fact that CJ researched it gave me extra leeway to believe in my opinion.
Yeah, good point. She did her own research. I'm going to go 2 as well. That's a good logic. Is it number 2?
It is.
All right, there we go.
Don't say it's number 3.
No, it wasn't.
Honestly, 3 was. I was like, that's weaker compared to the other 2.
Yeah, that was cool. But when she did that, she was like, "Gotcha, bow, bow, bow."
Yeah.
I was like, "You better shoot. You better sniper yourself to death, girl.
Yeah.
You better sniper. I need to learn how to do it.
Like, don't you wish you could, like, when you see all that cool stuff, you're like, man, wouldn't it be cool if...
And see, that's why I enjoyed the movie. Like, when people like, this movie sucked. How? All of that was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It's just like, also, like, they're everywhere in the world in this movie. They went to Europe. They went to the Philippines.
And let's talk about the fact that they were in Santo Domingo.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. I love the fact that they were in Santo Domingo. I love that he always, and that's a good point to what John was saying earlier. Like, is he Italian? Does he, whatever background he is, he does always manage to put an Hispanic or some type of cultural background
he always had,
in his movie.
That must be in bed, like, from his childhood or something like that.
I love that.
And his cast is always diverse. The locations of filming is diverse. I mean, there's a lot of cool... In his success over the years, he's developed a monumental ego.
Yeah.
Like, when you look at the pettiness between him and The Rock and, like, a lot of the things there,
so nuts.
like, there is a lot of... He's a flawed human being.
Yeah.
As we all are. But I do love the community aspect of his films, where he brings back the same people, where he really tries to bring diversity in his lineup, where it's very important to him to film. Like, if we're going to do a scene in Brazil, we're going to go to Brazil.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
And I mean, locals, and that's another thing that I don't think people realize when you are filming in those cities and in those countries, that does bring money into their area.
Yeah.
It really does. So that is a good...
Hire PAs.
They have to hire PAs. And then he really does use the local babies that are from there.
That's awesome.
Like, he really does. I did research that. All local talent, they really resource that talent.
Yeah, that's so cool.
This movie he's done is Saving Private Ryan, but in that movie, they're fighting the most evil white people. The German nuts.
That's true.
So, hey, Vin Diesel, why don't you come over here and save USA?
We need, come on. We need another Vin. We need a quadruple X. We need another
antagonist.
Right, because we're a little...
I want to get punched by Vin Diesel.
I wouldn't mind being punched by Vin Diesel.
I feel like if he ever met me after listening to some of these episodes, he would punch me. Like,
you should be my friend, Drew.
I wouldn't mind.
Like, there's
like when he did the gun and then I wouldn't mind that.
Well, John, is there anything you can plug or want to plug?
Please.
And remember that. So this episode will be out literally next week.
Mm-hmm.
So
sounds good. So this weekend I'm taping a thing with Nate Bargatze's Neil Lane Productions. I'm part of the Showcase Season 3, and that will be on YouTube July 18th. So that'll be pretty fun.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
Thing. Otherwise, just follow the Clean Comedy Collective. One of the reasons I love doing this is because, like, you were one of the first people who gave me a show in the city. And and you...
Was it the nursing home show we went to?
Was it?
You mean the one I almost cried at Buffalo Wild Wings at?
There's a mean old lady.
Franklin, Tennessee, right?
It was
Brentwood or Franklin, and we did this retirement community, and I'm bombing so badly that I'm like, I gotta start a yo-yo. I just did a yo-yo show for the last 10 minutes of my show, and then like I brought Drew up, and I don't know if it's like this guy literally didn't have his hearing aids up well, and he is actively reviewing the show. For both Drew and I'd be like, is this guy famous?
I would never. Please don't ask me. Nah, I can't.
Listen, nursing home shows are weird. Mm-hmm. And what I've learned is the show part usually is pretty terrible. But like after what they really like, because they don't like the comedy, what they really like is talking to you after the show.
No, thank you.
And then I got scolded after that show too, because I did a joke about how my ex was Native American and Jewish. And I said, like, I guess you'd say the one good thing that could have came out of that relationship is that our kids would have gone to college for free. And then this woman comes up to me and she like taps me on the shoulder, and I'm so like, oh, she wants to say good job, whatever. You know? And she says like, I'm Jewish, right? This is 2022. This is not everything that's going on in the news now. And I'm just like, oh yeah, that's great. I love you. I said like, I love Jewish people. Like, really? I don't think her family would appreciate that joke you did. I mean, like, about inclusivity and diversity. And then she's just like, it was a really bad joke. And then just walks away.
Oh.
And I wanted to cry.
Yeah,
there's feel bad. That's happened to me.
That
before.
yeah,
I think that's happened to all of us.
I have John. You've been part of many bad shows I've produced. Not like as in the comedians, but like we've gone and it's been like us and two people in the audience, and we've had some rough ones, but you know, that's life. I guess.
But yeah, you put me on one of my first shows, so that was cool.
Yeah.
You
Drew
and Sean.
is Drew.
So.
I'm glad Drew gave me a chance to do clean comedy as well because I'm not clean. So the fact that he's allowing me to do that, so shouts out to Drew Davis.
But I feel like everyone can be clean. Not all of our material, like there's stuff about your jokes that are like perfectly fine in clean rooms. All of us, and so
you have it's because she has things in her life that are relatable, and most people do. And the thing I love about CJ's act too is she killed so hard at that winery. I like went out back, and I was like, Paul, you gotta bring it.
We had a good time though, man. We really do. Anytime I'm on sets with y'all, because y'all push me to be better. And I like that. I like when you have people around you guys. So thank you for coming. And we hope you come back.
Thank you.
And make sure you drop your social on right now.
It's at John John Datoy Datoy.
Yep.
And we'll have it down in the notes, and you can send us mail too if you want. Fan mail. Like I guess you don't have to mail us actual thing with it.
Not Unabomber stuff.
No, nothing of that. But shout out to D&D, our sponsor. You see, I'm wearing I wanted to wear this today because it was like we're doing action movies.
Yeah.
I was like, I've been working out, so lift heavy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I love it.
Reps in. So shout out to D&D. I need some more apparel. If y'all got some tights, like some long tights, I'll take some of that. Just drop that in. You know what I'm saying? So I can go on and do that. You can check us out on most social media platforms. We got YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Where else are we?
Those are it.
That's it. Because we're done with X.
Yeah. We X'd it. We triple X'd it out.
Triple X'd it out.
Really?
Yeah, we're done.
Oh, just honestly, like it just in addition to all the things about it,
negativity.
Yeah,
that's where the worst ones go. So.
And I do not need many excuses to use less.
Yeah. No, I don't even remember my password to get into it, so I'm thankful about that. So
yeah.
But yeah, man, shouts out to everybody that watches us. Thank you for allowing me to be on the podcast as always.
Thank you for being on the. At this point, we've been on almost about as many episodes.
I know. I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you. You can always check us out on all of our social media podcasts. Drew Davis, your girl CJ Walton, and please remember to live your life a quarter mile at a time. See you later, guys.
Bye.